Brian Kelly and the LSU Tigers have an over-under win total of 8.5 at FanDuel Sportsbook, over -170, under +138. DK, this total surprised you? How are we feeling about LSU?
Yeah, just because I've talked to a lot of people that were SEC media days and were really bullish on LSU. The whole Garrett Nussmeier situation that's unfolding where Brian Kelly gives an update and kind of addresses it. I was kind of thinking it was a nothing burger based on, we even talked about it last week. What is it, patellar tendonitis?
Correct.
Now is like the official listing. I just wonder if it's going to be a nuisance for him. I'm on the under for LSU. I think I worry about how this team responds to Brian Kelly if they start off 0-1, which I do think Clemson beats them at Clemson. They better beat Florida. Again, that's if Lagway is healthy on that one. The defense, they were supposed to get a lot better last year. They didn't. The Harold Perkins being healthy, maybe that adds a little bit. I still think they're trying to figure out how to use him, but that's banking on him being the player he was his freshman year. I'm not completely sold on that. Alabama, Oklahoma, both on the road, and Ole Miss. I worry about Garrett Nussmeier's health. So all of that combined with a schedule that's pretty tricky, I'm on the under.
Under as well. I don't like these quarterbacks getting hurt in the preseason. I don't think the transfer portal was as talented this year, so them having the number one portal class doesn't mean quite as much to me as it would have in prior years. I think the defensive line is probably a good bit better. I'll buy the secondary being legitimately better. I don't know if I buy that Perkins fits in this defense now. Maybe they finally found a way, but I thought for large stretches they were better without him. So he actually has to fit. There's no doubt he is a talented player, but it's up to LSU to find a way to make the defense work with him in there if they're going to play him. Offensively, I am not convinced that they have adequately replaced the offensive lineman they lost. I do think that they probably hit at receiver in the portal pretty well, and I've always been a Nussmeier guy, but they couldn't run the ball last year with the super veteran offensive line, and I respect Cole Kubiak. He does a good job. He's they gotta commit to doing it. I'm like, okay, well, maybe, who doesn't like to run the ball if you can do it, right? You think they can, they just do it? Maybe they kind of suck at doing it last year, and if their O-line's worse, maybe they're not good at running the ball this year. So I'm going to go under. It's not something I'm slamming, but Nussmeier being hurt is kind of all right, yeah, I'm out.
Lord help me. What if their offensive line's better?
Whoa.
Well, then it totally changes.
That to me is the one. I think Will Campbell was great. I don't think the offensive line they had was great, and I do have questions. Anytime you're in the SEC and you're replacing as much of your offensive line as LSU is, that's a serious issue that you have to deal with, and we won't really know. Thankfully, we should know by the end of that Clemson game how good that offensive line actually has to be. So I look at this squad. I love Nuss. I love the wide receivers. I love the running backs. Defense, we still have to see. Defensive line, I think maybe they're better talent-wise, but we have to see if they perform better. The secondary, it'd be hard to be worse, but as bad as they were last year, it was still a step forward from 2 years ago.
Right.
So if that trajectory continues, I do think the defense will improve. I am scarily high on LSU. I just feel like the way LSU works historically is that when you're truly starting to write them off, that's when they jump up and all of a sudden they're a national title contender. I am on the over. Spoiler alert, we had to put in our expert picks for the conferences for the website coming out in a couple weeks here. I've got LSU winning the SEC. Give me the over here. Probably be on the Locks pod too. I think I'm fully bought in. I'm part of the family with Brian Kelly. I'm all on board.
They feel Florida-y.
Mm-hmm.
If everything clicks, you can see it. It sounds like your confidence going to click. This is going to be interesting. Really interesting to watch.
LSU at FanDuel Sportsbook 6-1 to win the SEC. If you want to follow Tom's lead on that, that is fourth on the board behind Texas, Georgia, and Alabama, and noticeably a step ahead of the next team down, which is Texas A&M in Florida, both at 16 and 19-1 respectively. Number one, so Garrett Nussmeier has been dealing with this tendonitis since high school. It is something that can get aggravated. It is something that can flare up. He has undergone one of those situations where it sounds maybe more gruesome than it is. He's already had some bone shaved down to address this before, like a minor procedure for him to be able to bounce back. I think that him missing any time is more about not getting in line with his receivers, but I also like the receivers that they got. Yeah. I think that this passing attack could be awesome. I am on the over here, but I am not so violently on the over that I would rush. So over 8.5 minus 170. I'm not ready to go bet on 10 plus, like a 10 plus exacta or a 10 plus prop. I'm not ready to go for the SEC championship, but I do feel very confident about 9-3, just given the overall talent level of this team. So I like LSU. I think that there is a ceiling, and certainly that ceiling is lower if Garrett Nussmeier, like, what if he has to deal with this knee thing all season long? And then it becomes like something you're
he's had an ankle before. Like I went and pulled his injury history on like my notes and stuff. He had an ankle in 2023. He had something last year. I thought it was ribs, but I don't think they ever announced what. Like it, he was pretty dinged up looking in that Florida game.
He takes
whatever he had there. Like, some of these guys just stay hurt.
Fine, you guys can be haters.
No, I'm on the over, Tom. I'm running there. Though I'm starting to sense that you've got a little bit of like LSU might be your siren song the way that USC is for me.
Like I'm just kind of this is a shot call.
Yeah. You know what? Not enough people are talking about LSU, and LSU's sweet. LSU can do it. They've shown it. They can come up and they can creep up, and all of a sudden they're playing for the SEC championship. I've got a 6-1 ticket. Now we're just got a hedge situation.
If you want to invite me down to Baton Rouge, be on the sidelines during a home game, I'm not going to stop you. Whatever. We can do a cover 3 there.
Listen, LSU, call us.
It'd be a real shame if we were down there doing a live show.
Be a real shame if we were in Baton Rouge to do a live show. Man, that would be so tough, so tough to be able to get motivated for, 100%. That's still, as we've detailed in a lot of offseason mailbags, that's like from sundown to sunset and into the night. Give me Baton Rouge on a college football Saturday, October, if we want to be really specific.
Yes.